Hi, everyone. Welcome to KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Jane McCarthy.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Sherry.
All right, after a pause in the snow, it is back in action. It's already turned Snoqualmie Pass into a mess this afternoon. Lots of crashes, so we know westbound lanes have been closed.
Yeah, they were closed and they're expected to open soon, we think, but I tell you, it does not look good out there at all. Follow me over here and I'll show you Snoqualmie Pass. Now, I know you see cars in the westbound lane right now, but we think that these were cars that were stranded and they're just letting them through right now. But as you can see, it is no time to be up on the pass. So if you don't have to be up there, don't go. So that's a look at Snoqualmie. We have a winter weather advisory in effect, not in Spokane, but just to the east of us. This includes Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene. You see western Kootenai County, also down into the Palouse, this area that is shaded in yellow. That's until early tomorrow morning, looking for 1 to 3 inches of snow in that area. Winter storm warning in effect everywhere. You see shaded in pink, and that's through Wednesday of next week, the middle part of next week. 6 to 10 inches of snow possible in those areas, and then a winter storm watch in effect in the lower Columbia Basin through Tuesday. 4 to 7 inches of snow expected in that location. You can see areas to the north of it snow. Doesn't look like it's a big deal. So this is just additional snowfall we're expecting tonight through Saturday. Maybe 1 to 2 inches in Spokane, probably less than 2, more around 1, I think. 1 to 2 in Deer Park. It'll be the panhandle of Idaho and down into portions of the Palouse that we'll see more of the snow. 2 to 3 in Sandpoint, 2 to 3 inches expected in Coeur d'Alene. But again, that's just through Friday evening. Remember, I think areas south of us are going to still see additional snowfall as we work our way into Wednesday. So here's a look at the next 12 hours. Looks like we see the snow pretty much now through about 9 p.m. and then it pretty much stops later this evening. And that's why I think it's only about an inch here in Spokane. And then we'll look for mostly dry conditions overnight. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. I've got 32 on Saturday after a morning low of 20. We'll look for kind of a breezy day tomorrow. Sunday, light snow in the middle of the day, late morning into early afternoon. Again, not looking for a whole lot of accumulation on Sunday.
All right, more of the same.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
And February, of course, is expected to be the 3rd snowiest February on record. Your aching back tells you that. But it looks like our summer is going to be drier than normal, and that could lead to very dry forests. Yeah,
that's a concern. New climate forecasts show a warmer, drier trend that could leave forests susceptible to increased wildfires.
So we'll start gradual warm up in March, obviously, and then this summer the odds are high, at least according to computer models, for above normal temperatures and below normal rainfall. Glenn Farley has more on why some state officials are worried.
The shades of tans and reds are a sign of what may be heading our way beginning next month. Above normal temperatures as forecast by the National Climate Prediction Center and released just this morning. This one for March, April, and May, which has the state covered and western Washington in a bullseye of warmth. And that could affect our ability to build snowpack. February has been a big help. And Scott Petit, who for decades has tracked our snowpack for the National Resources Conservation Service, part of the Federal Department of Agriculture, is concerned, telling me today if we do warm up, we could start losing ground fast. Snowpack typically peaks around the 1st of April. Right now, Puget Sound snowpack is at 79%. Some places like the lower Yakima area closer to 100.
Our springs have been on the warm side, and so just because we've been having some cold doesn't mean that it's going to stay cold forever.
Earlier this week, I spoke with state climatologist Nick Bond, already concerned about a pattern of warmer springs.
We're thinking right now that it's going to be a very significant fire season.
As Commissioner of Public Lands, Hillary Franz runs the largest fire department in the state, part of the Department of Natural Resources. 2018 saw a record number of wildfire starts, more than 1,800, 40% on the west side of the Cascades. The map for June, July, and August, red all over the west coast and down into Texas. The maps matter.
They follow them very closely. And we obviously have our own meteorologists on our team because we want up-to-date weather reports starting in the early part of this year.
Climate forecasts, along with the department's expertise, help with pre-positioning of firefighting assets, including these Fire Boss aircraft and helicopters, which can put out fires quickly. What she worries about is a repeat of last spring.
We had a pretty significant snowpack. But people will remember by April, much of our state was already drying out. It dried out quickly.
Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
And there are equal chances that the spring might be wetter or even drier, but the summer is another story.
Yeah, we are more likely to be drier over the summer, particularly here in the eastern part of the state. And the drought monitor says the eastern slope of the Cascades has already been drier than normal.
Well, a well-known Spokane pediatrician is facing a felony stalking charge. This is in Bonner County.
Yeah, this stems from an incident in Bonner County that happened back in July. A woman told police she had been receiving unwanted contact from Dr. Joseph Kincaid. According to court documents, she said that he had been messaging her and even went to her home in Ponderay.
Kincaid told authorities the victim was his new girlfriend and he was going to propose to her. KREM 2's Taylor Vito sifted through court documents today, and he'll have more on this story in our 5 o'clock newscast. Well, Chicago prosecutors charged singer R. Kelly with 10 counts of sexual abuse.
Yeah, today's charges come after years of abuse allegations against the singer involving underage girls. Through his lawyer, he has consistently denied the allegations. Jurors acquitted the now 52-year-old of child pornography charges back in 2008. And those charges stemmed from a video prosecutors allegedly showed Kelly having sex with a girl as young as 13. According to court documents, he is due in court March 8th.
And police in Florida say they caught New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft in a sex sting. 77-year-old Kraft has been charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor soliciting prostitution. He's one of 25 men charged with paying for sex acts at a massage parlor in Jupiter, Florida. They claim to have the video evidence recorded on undercover cameras at least twice. Police say they'll be issuing a warrant for Kraft's arrest now.
Mother, if you come in here, you're a dead son of. That's a promise.
Ooh, salty.
Hey, there we go.
That is a 79-year-old Georgia woman talking about what happened when she scared off a burglar trying to get into her home.
Yeah, she says she called 911, then grabbed her 2 guns. Mark Hanrahan is in the newsroom tonight with more on what happened.
Yes, this woman definitely not messing around. Gwendolyn Agard says she heard a noise as she was doing work around the house. She says the would-be burglar grabbed a rubber mallet from a neighbor's shed and broke in naked. She had her .38 caliber revolver and says she fired a warning shot, but the man then went upstairs and started ransacking her home. Well, since the .38 didn't seem to do the trick, she grabbed her .45. A guard called 911 frightened, but she wasn't going to let the burglar know that. When the man tried to come downstairs, a guard fired another warning shot.
He said, "Are you trying to kill me?" I said, "Oh, you finally got the message."
Well, it would be 10 minutes of her fending off that man. He would eventually hide in an upstairs closet, and that's where authorities found him when they arrested him wearing a guard's granddaughter's pants. A guard says her grandchildren came to mind during the standoff, and she says she tried to call her daughter but couldn't get in touch with her, and that's why she knew she had to fight back. She says she never thought she'd have to fire her guns, but she'd do it all over again if needed. More on this story. Jane, back to you guys.
Wow.
She's tough. Thanks,
She
Mark.
is tough. Well, a Washington State University professor says that proposal to split Washington State probably isn't going to happen in our lifetime.
Spokane Valley Representatives Matt Shea and Bob McCaslin introduced the legislation that would divide the state at the Cascade Mountain Range. That would create a 51st state called Liberty. Professor Cornell Clayton says proposing a state split may be more about getting people behind the ideas of those lawmakers than reality. He says it's all an expression of the frustration over the political dominance of the western half of the state. He says if a split ever happened, it would likely cause an increase in taxes if residents wanted to maintain the same level of service here in eastern Washington.
So even if it was feasible, convincing enough voters to support the idea would be a big hurdle. The last time a state successfully formed from another state was back in 1863. That's when West Virginia broke away from Virginia.
Well, Washington State University has officially added a Mike Leach class.
It is an extracurricular leadership seminar called Insurgent Warfare and Football. It will include 4 classroom sessions on the university's Pullman campus. It begins March 27th, and during the seminar, Leach and Spokane County Treasurer Mike Baumgardner will discuss insights on leadership strategies that they gained through each of their lives and careers. Up to 40 students will be admitted.
So to apply for the seminar, students have to write responses to 2 essay questions, and then the class will be available to WSU Pullman students only. The seminar's final session, though, will be live streamed and open to the public free of charge. So I would gather that a lot of people would want to tune in.
I just want to hear the off-the-cuff remarks and the analogies.
Yes.
And, this is going to be good.
Class might, go overtime a little
bit.
A little bit.